The air was filled with excitement and the sweet scent of cookies as guests arrived at the grand Christmas party. Brightly colored lights twinkled from every corner, illuminating the cheerful faces of children and adults alike. The room was adorned with sparkling ornaments hanging from a beautifully decorated tree that stood tall in the center, exuding a warm glow. Laughter echoed through the hall as friends reunited and shared stories, creating a joyful atmosphere that felt almost magical. Tables were laden with an array of festive treats: gingerbread men, candy canes, and frosted cupcakes, each more inviting than the last. The sound of cheerful holiday music floated in the background, adding to the merriment that enveloped everyone present. Families caught up over cups of hot cocoa topped with whipped cream, while children darted around, their chatter ringing out like merry bells. Amidst all this joy, however, a quiet girl named Lily stood off to the side. She watched from a distance as others laughed and played games. While everyone else seemed to be having a wonderful time, Lily felt a knot in her stomach. She had always been shy and often found it hard to join in on the fun. Her fingers nervously fiddled with her sweater as she took a deep breath, trying to shake off her unease. Feeling drawn to the dessert table, Lily gathered her courage and stepped forward, hoping to enjoy just one cookie without drawing attention to herself. It was her favorite time of year. The festive treats made her heart flutter, but she worried about what others would say if they noticed how much she enjoyed them. Just as she reached for a gingerbread cookie decorated with icing, a group of boisterous kids came into view. Lily's heart sank as she heard their laughter grow louder. "Look at her! She's going for another cookie!" one of them shouted, eyes gleaming with mischief. Their teasing cut through the cheerful sounds of the party like a knife. "You eat too much, princess!" another chimed in. The other kids joined in, snickering and pointing at her. Though she wanted to disappear into thin air, Lily clutched her cookie tightly and tried to ignore their taunts. She glanced around to see if anyone would come to her defense, but found only faint smiles on unfamiliar faces who seemed more interested in their own conversations. The festive atmosphere began to feel suffocating as she retreated deeper into herself. She took a small bite of her cookie, hoping it would comfort her amid the teasing crowd. Little did she know that this moment would soon change everything for her. A twist that no one could have expected lay just ahead amidst all those twinkling lights and laughter. Lily stood quietly at the edge of the bustling room, her heart racing as she watched everyone else. With her light brown hair pulled back into a neat ponytail, she wore a cozy red sweater that made her feel festive, but it did little to shield her from the churning feelings inside. She was a small girl for her age, which only made her feel smaller amidst the crowd of lively children. While laughter and joy filled the air, Lily's eyes darted around, searching for a place where she might belong. From a distance, she admired the decorations. The shimmering lights danced on the walls, and the beautiful tree sparkled under a canopy of ornaments. But even among such beauty, Lily felt isolated. She longed to join in the games and laughter, but found herself frozen by anxiety. Whenever she thought about approaching others, doubt crept in like a shadow. "What if they don't want me there?" she worried silently. She took another breath to steady herself and glanced at the dessert table again, drawn to the colorful display of cookies and treats. Each cookie looked more tempting than the last. Gingerbread men with candy buttons and frosted sugar cookies that sparkled like jewels begged for attention. It was hard to resist. She loved sweets more than anything else. As she stepped closer to reach for one of those delicious cookies, Lily's mind raced with thoughts. Would people stare? Would they make fun of her again? Even when placing a cookie on her plate felt like an act of bravery, fear loomed behind every choice she made at this party. Hiding behind other guests while nibbling on her treat brought Lily some comfort. At least it was a little shield against the mockery that had already stung her heart once today. But instead of savoring the sweetness in front of her, she felt as if each bite bit back with bitter emojis echoing in her mind from earlier taunts. Just then, Lily caught sight of some girls across the room giggling together. They wore bright dresses adorned with glittering patterns that shimmered under the lights. As they threw their heads back in laughter, it struck Lily how easily they connected with one another while she remained an outsider looking in. She wished for nothing more than to belong, to share in their joy rather than standing alone at this festive gathering. With determination rising within her, Lily decided to take baby steps towards joining them, rather than remaining hidden in shadows forever. Maybe tonight could still hold something magical for her, if she just dared to try and find her voice among all this laughter. Perhaps something unexpected awaited just beyond her fears as well. With her heart racing, Lily finally mustered the courage to reach for a sugar cookie adorned with colorful icing. As she placed it on her plate, she felt a small surge of happiness, believing that perhaps this simple act was her first step toward joining the fun. But just as she was about to take a bite, the laughter of nearby children pierced through the cheerful noise of the party. "Look at her! She really grabbed another one!" shouted a boy named Jake, his voice loud enough to draw attention from others nearby. Lily felt heat wash over her cheeks as she quickly glanced around. The weight of their gaze made her stomach twist. "What's wrong, Princess? Don't you know cookies aren't healthy?" he snickered, his friends cackling alongside him. Lily's heart sank further as other kids turned to look at her with amused expressions. Their laughter felt like nails digging into her skin. They had turned something simple, a moment of joy for her, into an embarrassing spectacle. "Yeah, maybe you should slow down on those cookies," another girl added mockingly, pinching her waist and pretending to describe how big Lily might be getting. Crushed by their taunts, Lily clutched her cookie tightly and vaguely recognized her surroundings blurring out in a whirlwind of color and sound. She wished she could disappear like the magic snowflakes falling outside the window. Instead of enjoying the sweet flavor she craved, each bite now tasted like defeat. The loud children continued their playful bullying while several others stood by, either giggling or pretending not to hear them. It struck Lily how easily they connected through their mean jokes, while she remained isolated and vulnerable in that moment. Hidden behind a curtain of nerves, it felt as if everyone else was celebrating at her expense, without any knowledge of who she truly was inside. In an effort to bottle up her emotions, Lily took another hesitant bite of the cookie but found no comfort from it this time. It only reminded her of how alone she felt amidst such festivity. Their words echoed mercilessly in her mind, like whispers haunting her spirit. "Princess," they called her, an innocent title turned into a weapon that made fun of her love for sweets. Lily eventually turned away from the taunting crowd and tried to find solace among other guests who were chatting happily about gifts and games. But even that failed to shield her from feeling like an outsider. Just when she thought things couldn't get worse, she noticed some kids eyeing her with judgmental glances, as if they were still partaking in the revelry at someone else's expense. Yet within that deep cloud of sadness lay a flicker of defiance that refused to fade away entirely. Lily pondered if perhaps they did not know who she really was, or the story behind why those cookies meant so much more than just a sugary treat for her. It sparked within her the thought that maybe one day soon they might understand. After enduring the mockery, Lily felt as though a heavy weight had settled on her chest, making it difficult to breathe. Each laugh felt like a sharp jab in her heart, and she suddenly wished for nothing more than to shrink away and disappear. She clutched her cookie tightly, trying to find solace in its sweetness, but the joy she had hoped to feel was drowned out by embarrassment. "Why do they have to pick on me?" she thought as tears threatened to spill from her eyes. Her cheeks burned with humiliation, and she couldn't shake the feeling of being small and insignificant in a room filled with laughter and joy. Here, at what was supposed to be a cheerful celebration, she felt like an outsider, a lonely girl trapped behind invisible walls separating her from the fun. Lily attempted to ignore their comments, forcing herself to focus on the sugary flavor of the cookie. But each bite felt heavy, reminding her of their teasing words. "Princess" echoed cruelly in her mind like a taunting song. A name that should have been sweet turned bitter when spoken with scorn. The cookie that had once sparked joy became yet another reminder of how different she felt from everyone around her. As glimpses of laughter filled the air, the warmth of friendship seemed so far away for Lily. She noticed kids clustering together, sharing jokes and stories while she stood alone, feeling like a ghost among them. They danced and played games without a care in the world, as if Lily didn't even exist. Every time someone glanced in her direction, she braced herself for another barb or cruel joke, but instead found only laughter directed elsewhere. While they appeared carefree, Lily's anxiety bubbled up inside of her like a giant balloon threatening to pop at any moment. In that moment of hurt and vulnerability, Lily's mind raced with thoughts of doubt. What if I never fit in? What if they never see me? She longed for acceptance but felt paralyzed by fear. The innocence of childhood seemed lost on her as sadness welled up like snow melting under winter's sun. But amidst all this pain stirred a yearning deep within her, a desire not just for acceptance, but also to express who she really was beneath the surface. She thought about how cookies represented more than just treats. They were reminders of cozy family gatherings and warmth during chilly winters spent baking with loved ones who cherished her. Gathering whatever courage remained within her, Lily forced herself to take a deep breath. She may have felt small now, but maybe one day she could show others what those cookies meant to her. Perhaps bringing pieces of herself into view might help them understand that there was much more beneath her quiet exterior than they realized. As tears slid away and determination began replacing doubt in her heart, Lily wondered if this party could still hold surprises waiting just beyond the pain. New friendships or revelations showered in holiday magic. And perhaps tomorrow would be different than today after all. Feeling a spark of determination, Lily decided she needed something to wash away the taste of bitterness left by the kids' teasing. She made her way to the drink table, hoping a sip of cool lemonade would refresh her spirits. As she stretched to reach for a cup, she inadvertently lifted her sleeve, exposing something that had lain hidden beneath her cozy red sweater. The moment she revealed her tattoo, a delicate design of a phoenix soaring among stars appeared on her forearm. The vibrant colors seemed to shimmer under the party lights, capturing the attention of some nearby guests. It was a symbol of resilience and rebirth, representing the struggles she had faced in life, as well as her determination to rise above them like the mythical bird itself. At first, Lily didn't notice the commotion her tattoo had stirred until she heard gasps and murmurs erupt around her. "Did you see that?" whispered one girl to another, pointing at Lily's arm. "She has a tattoo." More amazed whispers followed, and suddenly the mocking laughter faded into genuine curiosity. Lily felt caught off guard as eyes shifted away from the food and fun and focused solely on her. A warmth spread through her chest, not just from the shock of attention, but from realizing that perhaps this unique marking could help tell her story without needing words. In that moment, all those feelings of embarrassment turned into something new. A sense of pride began building deep inside. As whispers transformed into excited chatter, one of Jake's friends leaned closer to take a better look. "Wow, that's really pretty," she exclaimed, genuine admiration shining in her eyes. Suddenly, the girl who had once taunted Lily was transformed into someone expressing awe instead. "Where did you get it?" another girl asked eagerly, approaching Lily with newfound interest instead of disdain. It became evident that they longed to know more about what this tattoo meant, rather than focus on whatever name had been thrown at her just moments before. Encouraged by their curiosity, Lily felt herself taking a chance she hadn't dared consider before. "It means that no matter what happens, I can always rise above it," she found herself saying, her voice soft but steady. Just like a phoenix reborn from ashes, it represented strength and individuality in all its glorious forms. Lily's heart swelled as more kids gathered around to admire this unexpected revelation. They shifted from questioning laughter to sharing smiles filled with camaraderie and respect. Maybe this gathering wasn't just about cookies and games, but rather about understanding one another more deeply than ever imagined. In an instant, the atmosphere changed as kindness wrapped around Lily like a warm blanket on a chilly winter night. She felt seen for who she truly was beyond their earlier mockery. Her tattoo became not just an image, but an opening for connection. A bridge leading toward unexpected friendships beginning to unfold within the festive space shimmering with lights and possibilities. As Lily stood there, her tattoo gleaming in the party lights, she could feel a shift in the atmosphere around her. The laughter that once made her heart sink transformed into excited chatter as kids gathered closer, their eyes wide with wonder. What had started as teasing about her eating habits quickly faded into awe for the striking design on her arm. "Look at how beautiful it is," one girl exclaimed, pointing at the colorful phoenix soaring among stars. The vibrant reds and golds of the tattoo seemed to dance in the light, capturing everyone's attention and redirecting their focus away from Lily's cookie indulgence. Instead of being the target of mockery, she suddenly became the center of admiration. "What does it mean?" another kid asked, leaning forward with genuine interest. This inquiry sparked a spark of confidence within Lily that she hadn't felt moments before. She took a deep breath and began to share the story behind her tattoo, a symbol of strength, resilience, and rising above challenges, just like a phoenix reborn from ashes. As she spoke, Lily noticed how captivated everyone was. They hung on her every word, their expressions shifting from judgment to respect. No longer were they focused on what they had previously teased her about. Instead, they were drawn into her narrative of empowerment and self-acceptance. "I got it to remind myself that I can always rise above whatever happens," she said softly but firmly. Her heart swelled with pride as she saw nods of understanding ripple through her audience. For the first time that evening, she felt seen, not just as a shy girl in a crowded room, but as someone with a story worth telling. Jake's earlier taunts faded into distant memories as he stood there wide-eyed alongside his friends, his previous bravado replaced by genuine curiosity. "I didn't know you felt that way," he admitted quietly, looking at her tattoo with newfound appreciation. "That's really cool." Encouraged by their positive reactions, Lily continued to elaborate on what the tattoo represented for her. her journey through challenges, and how important it was for her to embrace who she was inside. The kids around her exchanged glances filled with camaraderie instead of ridicule. With each word she spoke about herself and what made her unique, Lily felt a warmth wrap around her like a cozy blanket, a feeling that she truly belonged in this moment. The bond forming between them felt stronger than any hurtful comment made earlier that evening. As more kids gathered to hear about Lily's story and to admire her tattoo up close, laughter returned, but this time it was filled with joy rather than mockery. They shared stories of their own experiences and aspirations while laughing together over sweet treats. In an instant, the party transformed. It became a space not only for festive fun, but also one where differences were celebrated rather than scorned. With every smile exchanged among them, Lily realized that perhaps this holiday gathering held far more magic than she had ever imagined. New friendships blossomed right before her eyes as they embraced one another's uniqueness under twinkling lights and holiday cheer. As Lily continued to share her story, a sense of understanding began to fill the air. The kids who had initially mocked her were now listening intently, captivated not just by her tattoo, but by the emotions she was pouring into her words. They leaned in closer, drawn like moths to a flame, eager to learn about the journey she had traveled to reach this moment. "I got this tattoo because it represents my strength," Lily explained, her voice gaining confidence. "Sometimes I feel like I'm not strong enough to face challenges, but this reminds me that I can always rise above them. Just like the phoenix, I can start anew after tough times." One girl with curly hair and big green eyes, who had laughed at Lily before, nodded softly, her expression shifting from amusement to empathy. "I get that," she said quietly. "I've had times when I felt alone, too." The words hung in the air, bridging a gap that once seemed unbridgeable. Suddenly, stories began to flow from others as well. Jake stepped forward, his hands stuffed into his pockets. "I thought you were just different," he admitted sheepishly. "But now I see there's more to you than I realized. I've been through some hard things too, like when my dad lost his job last year. It was rough on me and my whole family." His confession surprised everyone but helped create a bond among them. Lily looked around and saw faces reflecting understanding rather than judgment. It was as if they were peeling away layers of misunderstanding and revealing a shared humanity beneath. Other kids began to share their struggles, moments feeling out of place or afraid of being judged, reminding each other of the common threads that connected them all. As more stories circulated, laughter echoed through the room. Not mockery this time, but genuine joy and connection. Together, they started grasping that everyone was fighting their own battles in silence. Laughter often masked insecurities they feared to share openly. Feeling the energy shift even further toward kindness brought tears of relief to Lily's eyes. A mixture of feeling seen and no longer alone, mingled with pure happiness at forming new friendships in such an unexpected manner. She realized how powerful sharing her journey could be. It didn't simply help others understand her better. It also brought light to others' experiences. With a newfound sense of camaraderie emerging among them, Lily encouraged everyone to celebrate their unique stories as they crowded around her. They discussed their dreams and passions, while sharing what made them different, instead of hiding it away in the dark shadows of fear. In that moment, amidst holiday twinkling lights and colorful decorations, a genuine bond blossomed over cookies and lemonade, one built upon understanding, empathy, and acceptance for who each person was at their core. The room radiated warmth as friendships formed, not merely based on taste in sweets or trendy outfits, but on shared vulnerabilities and aspirations illuminated through honest conversation. Lily's heart soared as she realized this party, once filled with isolation, had become a celebration of togetherness where differences were transformed into strengths that knit them all closer together under festive cheer and new beginnings waiting ahead. As laughter and warmth enveloped the room, the atmosphere shifted, turning into one of genuine connection. Lily looked around at her newfound friends, who now shared stories and smiles, and felt a warmth in her heart that she had never experienced before. Just moments ago she had stood alone, but now a little group had formed around her, all eager to learn more. One of the girls, the same girl with curly hair who had initially teased Lily, stepped forward with an earnest expression. "I'm really sorry for what I said earlier," she began, her voice sincere. "I didn't know you had such a cool story behind your tattoo. I guess I was just trying to fit in by making jokes." Lily's heart swelled as she saw the remorse in the girl's eyes. "Thank you for saying that," she replied softly. "It means a lot to me." The girl smiled back, and in that moment, Lily felt the burden of past mockery lifting ever so slightly. Encouraged by the first girl's apology, Jake also took a step forward. "I want to apologize too," he said, rubbing the back of his neck nervously. "I didn't understand how hard things can be for someone else. I was wrong to judge you before getting to know you." His honesty touched Lily deeply, and she found herself smiling at him. "Thanks, Jake," she said, feeling lighter as they spoke. "It's okay. I know we all have our struggles." As more kids joined in on the conversation, they started to share their own experiences of feeling left out or judged. One boy admitted he often felt ignored because he was shy and preferred reading books over playing sports. Another girl talked about moving to a new school and how tough it was to make friends after leaving behind familiar faces. Lily realized that each story revealed a piece of their hearts, a glimpse into their own battles and fears. The once unapproachable crowd of kids had transformed into a supportive circle of friends, sharing laughter and understanding. Feeling emboldened by this new camaraderie, one of the girls suggested they all get matching temporary tattoos as a symbol of their friendship and support for one another. "Let's celebrate our stories," she exclaimed enthusiastically. Everyone cheered in agreement. It felt like a great way to commemorate this special moment. Lily's face lit up with excitement as they began planning the details together. Ideas bounced around about where to find cool designs and how they could all show off their new ink during the holiday season. The thought of having something tangible to represent their bond made her heart race with joy. As they exchanged ideas and laughs, Lily felt a sense of belonging that had eluded her for far too long. No longer did she feel like an outsider. Instead, she was part of this vibrant group united by understanding and acceptance. With every word spoken and every laugh shared, friendships blossomed around Lily like festive decorations on the Christmas tree. Bright, colorful, and full of life. In that magical moment, surrounded by people who truly cared for one another, Lily understood that connections could be forged through understanding. She realized that sometimes it takes sharing your story for others to see beyond their initial judgments and embrace the beauty of individuality together. As the party continued, laughter and chatter filled the air, echoing with a newfound sense of connection among the children. Lily stood in the center of her friends, her heart swelling with warmth and gratitude. She couldn't help but reflect on how far they had all come in such a short time. Just hours ago, she had felt like an outcast, burdened by the weight of mockery and isolation. Now, she was surrounded by people who understood her story and who were eager to share their own. Isn't it amazing how quickly things can change? Lily said to her new friends, who nodded in agreement. They gathered around her, each one beaming with acceptance and kindness. The memories of teasing had faded away, replaced by a genuine desire to support one another. This transformation reminded Lily of the importance of empathy. As they discussed their plans for temporary tattoos, one of the girls suggested making the designs symbolize not only their friendship, but also the lessons they had learned that day. "Let's remember that kindness is so much stronger than cruelty," she said, her voice filled with conviction. Everyone nodded, understanding the deeper meaning behind their decision. Lily felt inspired as she listened to her friends share their thoughts. It became clear that they all had faced judgments based on appearances or assumptions, just like she had. They had learned that everyone carries their own stories, often hidden beneath the surface. With every shared experience, they deepened their understanding of one another, realizing that each person is much more than what meets the eye. This lesson resonated strongly with Lily. She understood now that kindness and acceptance could break down walls built by fear and misunderstanding. She reflected on how quickly she had been judged for enjoying a cookie, and how it had taken sharing her tattoo's significance to reveal the truth about who she was inside. As the evening wore on, laughter and joy echoed throughout the room, weaving a tapestry of friendship that celebrated their unique stories. The decorations twinkled above them like stars, shimmering in the light of a newfound camaraderie that filled their hearts with hope. Lily thought about how important it was to embrace individuality and to lift others up rather than tear them down. She felt grateful for the chance to show her true self and for the opportunity to connect with others who had also faced challenges in their lives. In that moment, surrounded by friends who valued her for who she truly was, Lily realized that life is much richer when we choose to be kind and open-hearted. She understood that everyone has a story worth knowing, and that sharing these stories can create powerful connections among us all. As they celebrated together, Lily felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, equipped with the knowledge that kindness can change lives, and friendships can blossom in the most unexpected ways. The Christmas party had become more than just a gathering. It was a beautiful reminder of the strength found in unity and understanding, leaving an imprint on their hearts that would last long after the festivities ended. As the evening wore on, the Christmas party transformed into a vibrant celebration of friendship and acceptance. Laughter filled the air, weaving through the festive decorations that sparkled like stars in the night sky. Lily stood at the center of it all, feeling a warmth envelop her heart as she looked around at her new friends, each one glowing with joy and enthusiasm. "Let's take a group photo," one of the boys suggested, his eyes shining with excitement. The idea quickly caught on, and everyone gathered around Lily, eager to capture this special moment together. As they formed a circle, she felt a surge of happiness wash over her, something she had longed for but never thought she could experience so fully. "Okay, everyone, say friendship," someone called out. And as they all shouted in unison, Lily couldn't help but laugh. It was a sound so pure and joyful that it echoed through her mind like a sweet melody. In that instant, all feelings of doubt or insecurity faded away. She felt seen, valued, and cherished for who she truly was. After the picture was taken, one of the girls turned to Lily with bright eyes. "I love your tattoo. It's amazing how it symbolizes your strength," she said earnestly. "You're really inspiring." This compliment warmed Lily's heart even more. It was like a gentle hug wrapping around her spirit. Lily smiled back, feeling proud of what her tattoo represented. the phoenix rising from ashes, and how it had not only opened doors for her, but also brought together this group of unique individuals who now celebrated their differences rather than hid them. The temporary tattoos they had discussed earlier soon became a reality, as everyone excitedly chose designs that reflected their own stories. They shared ideas about what each tattoo would symbolize, a reminder of their shared journey toward understanding and kindness. In those moments filled with creativity and laughter, Lily realized just how much she had grown since stepping into that party alone. She felt empowered as she watched her friends support each other in choosing their designs, each selection becoming an emblem of their newfound bond. As the night progressed and plates of cookies were devoured with giggles and joy, Lily found herself surrounded by laughter that no longer stung but resonated with warmth instead. The teasing echoes from earlier were replaced by conversations about dreams, aspirations, and shared experiences, each word building bridges rather than walls. When it was time to leave the party, Lily felt a flutter in her chest, not sadness at saying goodbye, but excitement for what lay ahead. She exchanged hugs with her friends and promised to meet again soon for another gathering filled with stories and laughter. Walking home beneath the starry sky, Lily reflected on how far she had come in just one evening. What began as mockery transformed into admiration, isolation turned into belonging, fear evolved into courage. The lesson learned that night was profound. Kindness can change hearts and create connections that last far beyond fleeting moments. In embracing both her individuality and that of others, Lily discovered the beauty in friendships forged through understanding, a gift as precious as any holiday treasure waiting to be unwrapped. And as she looked up at the twinkling stars above her, she knew this Christmas party would forever hold a special place in her heart. A celebration not just of holidays, but of true connection and acceptance among friends.